Okay, so if you are here, welcome. I'm going to just dive right in. We are using Adobe Premiere Pro. First, you're going to import your media here by double clicking up to there, and that is the audio we'll be using. And simply click import. Awesome. A good way to stay organized and make your edit go smoother and faster is to highlight and create folders for what you're going to be working with. I know that that's my audio, and just in case I have any other audio, I want to make sure I separate that. So I'll create a bin here, which is just simply a folder, and that's my audio. I will drag my audio to that folder, and now that's out of the way. I'll do the same thing here with the footage. Right click, new bin from selection, and that will be my footage. Awesome, so we have the assets that we're going to be using for our project. To create a sequence, new item, and what I did there was just right click. Let me do that again. I just right click, new item, sequence. I'm going to pick a 1080p timeline, and we'll just call this Walking Through Fields. And you'll see why we're calling it that way in just a second. Sweet. What you will notice now is Premiere has created a timeline for you. This is where you're going to be dragging audio and your video footage. Double click footage here. Double click this icon view so I can see what we're looking at. And this is the footage that we're working with now. I'm going to make some room here on this side. Should be good. You know what? We can even. Perfect. Now, so what we've got here in this bin is footage of a young lady walking through the fields here, and if you take your mouse and you scrub through, you just run through it, you can see the motion for each one, which is really awesome. So that makes it easier for you to tell your story. Okay, so the very first thing we want to do here is to get our first shot, our first establishing shot. I really like the way this looks here. It's sort of like mysterious, if you will, in the beginning. So we'll start with this one. We'll double click. I'll bring my marker here. Let's see, then we can just play this. That's awesome. And we'll just hit O for our out point. Okay, so what you want to do is, for instance, I'll click here. If I want to start with this section, I'll hit I for my end point and O for my out point. And now we've cut right here, which is a great place to dock off, if you will. So what Premiere is saying here is that the clip that's being pulled into this, it doesn't match the sequence. So either the sequence is smaller or bigger than the clip, or vice versa. So what we'll do here is we want to keep the existing settings and say, yeah, that's what we want to work with. Okay, so we got our first cut there. Okay, so remember that we have this opening here. She stops off here. She's looking right here, and I think that's a great time to kind of show maybe where she is in space, or maybe how she starts before, you know, the run up here. So we can double click here and let's play this. Okay, so I think that was good there right when we started off. We'll hit I to create an endpoint. She looks up and smiles, and I say that's pretty much a good point to cut there for me. And you'll just drag by clicking on this here, drag video only. Awesome. And that's the next cut there. And why don't we go ahead and show, let's see what movement this is here. Let's see what she's doing here. Oh, that's good. And you know, a tip that I would really recommend is that don't get married to a piece or maybe to an idea that you had, and be open to what the film or what the video might lend to you. Because for instance, I'm looking at this here and I'm like, you know what? I think this is actually, let's try this. It might look really good here. We know we'll be into it most of the night. We know we'll be into it most of the night. And I'll just bring this back here. Yeah, I think that's way better. Look up, she's smiling there, and you know what? We'll just cut there, and that's a good place to cut here. Awesome. 26 seconds. This is your time here. 26 seconds of goodness. So let's just add a couple more pieces to continue to tell the story. Let's get a nice close-up shot of her here. And let's see what she does. You can also click on the playhead, as I'm doing here, and just scrub through if you want to see what's happening before you choose a section to cut from. So I'm going to scroll up here. I'll hit I there, and I'll scroll up here. She looks off into the sun. I think that's awesome. Sweet. We'll drag the video section here onto our timeline. And it's a nice addition there. Let's get another look here. That's a nice look. There's one here where she was running. Let's see if we can find that one. Perfect. Remember that audio that we had? I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to double click that, and let's listen to what we have here. Ooh, that's really sweet. Okay. I think this might work right here. Let's see. Perfect. Yeah, I like the way that just, you know, kind of jumps right into it. So we'll take this here. And the process is the same for audio as well. So I for in. We'll get here. O for out. And on this section here, we're going to just roll over this drag audio only icon here. And voila. And I can tell by the audio waveform that we're going to get something good happening here at the end, which is nice. So looks like the time will be perfect. We'll cut right there. You can also add text. For that, we'll hop over onto the graphics tab here. Okay, and I will select my type tool. You can also hit T, as you see that there. And I'll just call this Learning Premiere Pro. Okay, we're just going to keep that simple. And if you want to move it around and say like there, I like the way that looks, that's awesome. But if you just want to center it in the middle and make sure everything is centered, you just slide on over here to align and transform right here where the mouse is. Align it vertically, align it horizontally, and you've got it dead center now. But I like style, so I'll go ahead and just leave that there, and I think that that looks nice. Some other things you can do to help tell your story, make things look cool, is, well, I'm going to move this title here just a little bit earlier in, and I'm on a Mac, so I'm going to hit Command D, and what that just did is it's going to give me some fading here on both sides. If you see this cross dissolve, okay, so without, the text just comes right in. If I add the cross dissolve, text comes in a little smoother. Hopefully you're able to see that and identify that. And also dissolves a little smoother. If you like what you have and you're ready to export, I'm on a Mac, so I'll hit Command M. If you're on PC, that would be Control M. Select where you would like your file to go. In this case here, it's going to go to the desktop. We'll call it Walking Through Fields. We like the title already. And that's set. You have different settings that you can export under. For the sake of this video, I'll just go to YouTube 2160 4K Ultra HD, excuse me. And then from that point on, you will just hit export.